Hey, Michelle here, coming to you from my desk here. And in this video, I want to talk about the importance of working on your mindsets and beliefs. This is so incredibly important to empaths and HSPs. It's important for everybody, of course. Anything that I share in the videos and in the work that I support you in, many of these things can be generally what all us humans need to be happier and healthier, whether we're working on our healing, our mindsets, our nervous systems, our ability to trust ourselves, to believe in ourselves. You know, these are a lot of very universal things, but I always bring in, or at least I try to, the special kind of angle of what it's like to then have those issues or those things to work with on top of it being, on top of them being an HSP and an empath, highly sensitive person. Because even though, you know, everybody can be sensitive, a lot of people can learn and practice empathy. We as empaths and HSPs, and particularly if you're an empath, you know, have high empathy. And are automatically, naturally wired to be more sensitive. It is part of the reason why we are the 20% of the population that we are. It is a brain, a nervous system, and a sensory scientific fact that we are wired to be extra sensitive in a spectrum of ways. So, so the angle here I want to bring in about empaths and HSPs working on beliefs and why this is really, really important connects to this idea around what some people call I'm absorbing other people's energies, which, by the way, if we're just crossing paths, you know that this is one of my biggest beefs, and I'm very against this idea and belief and mindset because it's scientifically, it just has not been proven to be true. And I find it to be very debilitating and a really tough one for people to walk through life believing. And I have lots of videos on my channel here. There's a 4-parter video on where I'm sharing my opinions and beliefs and experience around, and research around debunking this whole idea, where it came from, and also what's really going on, in my opinion, and also, you know, based on science as well. So watch those videos. They are on the channel, or you'll find them in my Teachable School as a little free download. You can get those and get more hear more what I'm talking about with that. But talking about this idea of absorbing energy, what is more true energetically that is happening is we are, and you'll see that in video number 4, what's going on is we're entraining with people. So entraining is what happens when we are around somebody else's energy and we begin to try to energetically sync up with them. It's the same thing like what happens with if you took 2 heart cells and you put them in a petri dish, and they will end up getting into syncopation with each other with the beat. And energetically, this is not woo-woo, even though it has a quantum side to it. This is about energy, and this is proven in our brains, in our cells, that we do this. And of course, then it makes sense that you can kind of push that out to, well, that means emotionally and energetically we're doing that, where we're trying to entrain with the energy of people around us, because it's all about bonding, emotional contagion, mirror neurons, all these things that we all have, but that empaths and HSPs have in spades, and are more sensitive and reactive or responsive too. So working with our beliefs is so important, because guess what? If you think about it, then when you are around certain people in your upbringing, in your relationships, in your working environment, whatever it may be, and you're a highly sensitive person, well, not whatever, all of those situations, we can entrain with the subconscious and the belief systems of others we're more susceptible to that, or more sensitive to that, because of our sensitivity. So that may sound a little bit like, oh shit, what? That does not sound fun. But it is a bit of a shadow side, I believe, of our higher sensitivity, because we can tend to entrain with the energies of those around us. That can be a positive thing or a more challenging thing. And because of our resonance, because of being more sensitively available, you may find, and I know this is true for myself, that some of the belief systems and mindsets I have entrained upon and taken them on as my own in growing up, and people that I've been around growing up, that they were not so much mine, they were belief systems that I then entrained myself to. And I think this is where this place where people say we absorb things also gets very confusing for people, because entraining is a survival mechanism, right? Because we're trying to be in relationship, we're trying to be connected. We want to be for bonding, for safety, for emotional intimacy, for many different reasons. And this is also why I'm so against this idea of absorbing, because absorbing someone else's energy is really, if you think about it, it's very anti-survival. It's very it's a threat to our own emotional and energetic homeostasis. So why would you, this whole thing which I have in these videos, of course, is the idea of like, why would our systems would be so threatened all the time? We can't just absorb people's energies. But I do believe we do entrain with them. And then we have that signature. We have that, the frequency of that belief can be part of our system then. I know that I have worked through many belief systems for myself that didn't feel like mine at all. Not that I wasn't having consequences or things in my life that were affected by them or created by them because I wasn't doing something or was doing something that was aligned with that negative belief system, and then had to, work with myself and become more self-aware of it and move through and release that energy. So I'm introducing this idea here, and I really want to emphasize the importance of doing our inner work, of doing what we can to work with our self-awareness and really to work with our belief systems and mindsets, because there is a good chance that we are entraining with the energies and belief systems around us, the frequencies of them, and then we have to learn and discern more what's ours and what is of others. And really, when it comes down to it, right, when you're affected by something and you're carrying a belief system, it really kind of doesn't matter actually where it came from. What matters is to be able to become aware of it and then to work with it so that it's no longer holding you back or affecting you in some sort of self-esteem negative kind of way. So, and there's 3 different ways that I work with belief systems and mindsets in my work. So one of them is something that everybody can do for yourself. It's easily accessible, lots of different Google videos. And so I wanted to, if you haven't heard of it yet, I want to put it out there to you, which is emotional freedom technique, which is also known as tapping. I like to call it empathy freedom technique because it really helps us feel more empathy for ourselves and to clear the energies, and it works with our bodies, which is what I love. It is basically like a sensate healing practice. So, and that's my spin on it. There's many other ways people describe it, but that's how I call it. But so it is something that is available that you can work through with clearing some of these belief systems. And please do know that it's very important. I would say 2 things that are so crucial for empaths and HSPs to work with, which are beliefs, mindsets, and beliefs and mindsets being one, and working with our nervous system. and getting back into our bodies and working with our sensations and feelings. So I hope this video has been helpful for you. Of course, come on over to Sensate Soul. You'll find a lot of different resources and things that can go deeper into this topic to help you. And also give a comment. Let me know what you think and feel about this. Subscribe, like, do all the great social media love, share with a friend, and see you in the next video. Lots and lots of love.